Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Monsters Unleashed, issue number 1. Now, this is considered volume 2 because we just got finished with the 5-issue miniseries of Monsters Unleashed. In reality, when you look it up in the comic book indexes, this is actually volume 3 because there was, 11, 12, I think 12 issues or whatever of an original back in Monsters Unleashed back in 1976 or 7, I think it was. Anyway, it was a pretty popular one. That's clearly what this was based off of for the most part. So I reviewed the first 4 out of 5 issues of the original series, which just came out last month, and I didn't bother even reading the 5th one. I remember taking a passing glance at it and saying, nope, I'm not even spending that last $3 or $5, whatever it was. I think it was $3. Not even interested in picking up the rest of this. I wound up liking the aside issues, the crossover issues, better than I liked the main series itself. It just stunk. It was no good. And it was also done by Cullen Bunn. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, bud. But he's the writer for this. And David Baldion. Sorry if I'm messing up that name too. Never met these guys, so never had the pleasure of having them actually pronounce the name for me. So what we have here is we've got Kid Quade, who is the Inhuman, who has the ability to draw giant-sized monsters, any kind of monster he wants, and make them appear. And as I had to do a little bit of backlogging and found out that he can actually make his own monsters. He can invent his own monsters. That was something I wasn't so sure on because I didn't read that last issue, but I did wonder about it the entire first 4 out of those 5 issues. So we got, who is this? Hyvo Aegis, who's just a really big SOB. We know about Aegis. We don't know about the other 2 so well. Aegis is just a really big mech dude. We got Makarada, and might be pronouncing that wrong, whatever. Nothing to my language. And she's just this really big, giant, almost motherly type of a Leviathan kaiju. And then we got Scrag. And Scrag is my absolute favorite one. Scrag is a pacifist, but he is an incredible narcissist. All right. The dialogue that he delivers, all right, like, tremble, O fools, at Scrag's insatiable hunger to settle conflict peacefully. That's really good writing. That's amazingly good writing. Now, we basically have Kid Quade going against some regular villain, and we got some kind of a character here who's basically like an Amanda Waller type character, and she's basically a SHIELD agent who has taken over a portion of damage control so that she could try and handle all the problems that these giant monsters are doing. Now, they haven't really seen a lot of these giant monsters in a while, so it's not that big of a deal. They just kind of want to get rid of all that. Now, there's a lot of comedy in this, and what it basically boils down to is Herbie, the old Fantastic Four robot, is here and is basically a teacher, and the things that they're trying to teach Kid Quade is hysterical. How to build giant mechs, mathematics for quantum sciences, how the Sorcerer Supreme exists. He's supposed to be learning the Cree language, which just absolutely great. I love the comedy in here. There's a lot of it. Again, Scrag. Guys, I'm going to give this comic a B+. Now, I know it sounds wild since I didn't like the series right before this that was supposed to introduce us to these characters, but guys, Cullen Bunn did a fantastic job of giving actual personalities to these Leviathans, these giant monsters. They are great, these kaiju. I love, especially, like I said, especially Scrag. Just anything that he says for the most part is over the top and so cute. It's just the weirdest thing. And I genuinely feel that if they continue the way that they're going with this comic, I'm going to love it. Plus, we get to see one of my favorite guilty pleasure bad guys, and that is Mole Man. Mole Man, I loved him in the last really big storyline that I seen him was when he lost his avenging Spider-Man. He lost his kingdom, and then he wound up regaining it for the most part. And he's kind of like a good guy for a while. I remember he was a good guy way back in the Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch. And he was loaning out Monster Island to these guys and fighting against the bad guy government and just all these crazy things. And also the Ironman story, which was, I think, the most recent of the ones I'm talking about now, where the Mandarin's rings were all over the place and he had one of them. He's the only one who didn't get defeated out of the 10 supervillains. And just, guys, Really good stuff. I very much enjoy this comic, and I'm hoping that they just keep up exactly what they're doing. The formula that they're using now is so spot perfect. I just hope that they don't decide to get too creative and veer off the deep end. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed.